Hello and welcome everybody to 1948. You could argue 1941 as this was originally a Harold Sampson design, but in 1948 they rebranded it as Sam Snead Blueridge. And so this was obviously 1948 manufacture. Now, I need to thank the Suburban Golfer. Thank you so much, one of my patrons. Huge shout out. He sent me some clubs. Thank you so much. This is a club that he sent, and we're going to review it today. Huge shout out. Thank you, Suburban Golfer. Now, let's dive into what we're looking at here. Who is Sam Snead, you may ask? If you look at who has won the most PGA Tour events, Tiger Woods is on top, but he's tied with somebody. Who is that somebody? Oh, it's Sam Snead. He was a prolific golfer, just an athlete golfer, winning everything. Walter Hagen might have wanted to be a bigger name, but when it comes to victories, it was Sam Snead, all right? Bobby Jones, amazing story, amateur. But Sam Snead was the face of golf, all right? Just absolutely wonderful. So we have this amazing golfer coming up the ranks, and then in the 40s, there's World War II, and he served in the U.S. Navy, as did my grandfather. Can I tell you some top secret things from World War II? They're no longer secret, so don't feel like this is any. My grandfather was a radar tech, okay? Top secret clearance at the time. And I asked him, well, what was your job like? What did you do? He's like, well, I maintained the radar systems. I'm like, oh, what's that? And he's like, well, if a tube burnt out, a vacuum tube, I want to say he called it a magnetron, different than Megatron, I think he called it a magnetron. He's like, you'd pull it out and you'd put a new one in and go on your top secret little way, right? Those are his exciting. My grandfather doesn't have the most exciting World War II stories because that's what he did. You know, he's just like, oh, our radar's out. Let's go back to base and have, put in a new tube. Yeah, anyway. Needless to say, after World War II, you can imagine some people wanted to get back into golf. And they might see Sam Snead's name on a putter and want that. So in 1948, Wilson gets back into golf. It's like, we're back. They had canceled during the war, they had canceled PGA Tour events. So it was like, we're back, baby. And so Sam Snead now is in the Wilson catalog. And in 1948, it's just the Wilson catalog. It hadn't split into the pro line and retail clubs that we have today or that they had through the 50s. It was very much just golf. Let's go golf, right? It was just the catalog. So in the catalog, you'll see 3 layers, is that the right word? of Sam Snead branded clubs, okay? At the top end, the most primo sets were called the Sam Snead Signature. Then the Sam Snead Championship irons, and then the Sam Snead Blueridge as the most affordable entry, okay? And that's why this is just a copy of the Harold Sampson putter from 1941. Okay, let's move on and talk about identifying features on the review table. So pretty easy to recognize just from the branding. Wilson with the flag, Sam Snead, Blueridge model. Kind of 3 tiers here. There's the flanged sole right here. It does flange out. And then it does actually step down to the top line. So it has a very narrow top line, but it's straight and looks lovely. On the aft portion, there also seems to be this little cutout right here, which looks like there might have been some hand grinding gone into this manufacture. It's interesting, an interesting design. We'll show you the toe profile, heel profile, and then I want to talk about the face. So the face, I'm not sure if it's going to show up, but the face has this two-toned effect to it. It's almost like a matte finish and a glossy finish, like a chrome finish. Is that going to show up? At this angle on my viewfinder, it looks like you can kind of see it. So it gives you that interesting rhythm of shiny matte. So I like that face. I've always liked it. It's a pretty good size. It's a pretty good length putter right here. It feels and looks, as far as like a thin blade goes, pretty forgiving. It's not just like a tiny little hammer. It's a big blade. So there's that. Again,
at address pretty thin top line here. Long hosel with some kind of half knurled up here. Large black ferrule with a red stripe. I do want to, you can see the step shaft. There's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. The last one right before the leather grip. If they're longer, maybe I don't know how that works, but Suburban Golfer, thank you so much for sending this out. They branded the Sam Snead, clubs in 1948, 49. This is when they were, real popular. And you can see I also wrote, see the 1941 Harold Sampson. Suburban Golf, I've thanked you so much. Thank you again. We'll settle down with the thank yous for a minute here. But Suburban Golfer, gosh, I really appreciate you sending these out. So leather wrapped grip. It looks like there's a little wood insert right here. We can't see. I think there should be Wilson flags here. Let me know if you know what's supposed to be on here. But lovely leather grip. It looks like we're ready to talk a little bit more about this interesting putter and hit a few putts.
There are a few things I kind of want to address with this putter. The first is manufacturing. So in 1941, this can be a pro line club, and then in 48, it can be just the low-end retail version. I'm not saying that it is the low-end retail version, but that's like today. Like in the making of this video, it's the beginning of 2025. And right now, TaylorMade is the one who's really pushing carbon fiber. I'm guessing in the next 10 years, carbon fiber will be a much more entry-level price point because it's generally cheaper to manufacture than titanium. The Primo brands, I think, are still going to stick with a lot of titanium. But TaylorMade has abandoned titanium where they're using an aluminum chassis with carbon fiber everywhere, which is interesting, which is cost-cutting, but they're still charging premium prices for that. I think that's going to flip. I think carbon fiber and aluminum are going to be very inexpensive in the future, where titanium is going to maintain its top bracket price point. Just my opinion, my gut feeling. I'm wrong all the time, so don't hold me to that. So that kind of, we see that even here with this putter. So just kind of some thoughts about that. And now this putter itself, it is pretty interesting. It has a round grip, so it feels like an iron. It looks like an iron. I mean, this blade is just a narrow blade with a tiny little muscle on the back like an iron. Long ferrule right here, which is a little distracting because it goes from contrast, dark to light to dark to light in a rhythmic way. But it's there. The lie seems to be okay. But man, it looks like I'm putting with a 1-iron. In Atlanta, let's call him Bob, because that's his name. Bob would be 150 yards out, and he would putt and be 10 feet from the hole. I'm sure you guys do this or know somebody who does this. I could never do it, because he would get the luckiest bounce, and he would do it every time. Like, it goes left and then right and then left. Is it going into the bunker? Well, the curve of the fairway and the approach and then onto the green, and he'd be 10 feet from the hole. A little bit annoying. So, but really good. Texas wedge that all day long, Bob. So it kind of reminds me of that. This is something I'd feel comfortable like hitting out of the fairway. You know what I mean? Like, look at this. It's there. It says putter on the bottom for Pete's sake. Anyway, so when I line this up, my hands are just feeling a round grip, which my mind, my modern mind interprets as, this is an iron. And I look down at this and I'm like, it looks like an iron. So I have to pull myself back. With practice, this would get easier. Can you imagine how good golf sets must have looked back then? Can you even imagine? Because it would be wood, like made of wood. Wood. And then just blades all the way down. No big funky head cover with shiny bling skulls. Look at me, here's my name on it. Just blades. Sand iron, pitching wedge, all the way down to putter. Yeah, that would be a good looking bag. I might do that someday. All right, so we have this address. There's that nice line. That top line is just a straight line. So that builds a little bit of confidence. And let's see how it sounds and feels. That one felt a little pulley, is how that one felt. But it sounded great. It sounded and felt like a lot of not maybe super contemporary, but other putters that we think of when we think of the 50s, like Ironmaster putters. So this is actually a 70s Ironmaster putter. I have an older one here. 1965. All right, well, maybe not 50s, but this looks very different because it has that big exaggerated flange sticking out of the back. It has this top alignment line, but when you listen to it, it sounds and feels very much like the Wilson Sam Snead that we just hit. Man, this is an Ironmaster series. I love the Ironmaster series. So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to mishit one here off the toe. I might swing a little hard because I want to feel if there's like any forgiveness here. Yeah, it didn't feel too bad. It felt actually pretty good. Let's try no, I'm going to hit a normal one here. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could totally game this putter despite its look. Is it my first choice when it comes to looks of putters? Definitely not. I'm not. With my mind, and this is what's hard, going back into time and reviewing old clubs, is I'm biased because I know what the future is. And so that's where my mind is coming from, looking back, where they were looking forward and seeing things with their history. They didn't know what the future. So it would be a completely different experience hitting something like this. For some people, it'd be like, this is what my putters look like for the last 50 years, and this is what I'm comfortable with. And for them, they're rocking and rolling. Okay? So, yeah, it's always hard making these videos. All right, so let's try one more here. Yeah, it totally feels okay. It does. Have you ever used a blade, like a blade putter like this before? Let me know how it feels to you and what are your takeaways. I'm not feeling a huge sense of there's no forgiveness. The sound sounds fine. So this brings, looking forward from this 1948, in 1968, what did Ping really bring to the table? Was it really a dynamic difference, or was it our perception of being different? Because with a large blade like this, I don't feel like I'm at a disadvantage when it comes to actually sinking putts. Granted, I missed 3 out of 3 with this putter. That might answer my question. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As usual, huge shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. If you want to support this channel in a different way, you can visit my Amazon shop. I have some golf accessories and stuff on there. The link will be in the description below. I am an Amazon associate. I make proceeds from qualifying purchases. That's how it helps this channel. Thank you everybody for watching. I am the Vintage Golfer.